Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Lesser Known But Awesome Heroes. And today, I'm going to be talking about a superhero group who's actually going to get their own fucking movie 2 years from now, and it's probably one of the most anticipated superhero movies that I'm looking forward to out of Marvel's Phase 2 projects. That's right, guys. I'm not only going to give you a list of all the members and talk about the original team, but I'm also going to talk about the 2008 reincarnated team of the intergalactic cosmic superhero group known as the Guardians of the Galaxy. So let's get underway. Now, first I'm going to give you a team roll call here. These are all the characters from the original, alternate universes, etc. Okay, this is the modern team. Adam Warlock, Drax the Destroyer, Gamora, Quasar, Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord, Groot, Mantis, Major Victory, who's actually Justice of the New Warriors, a futuristic version of him. And he was also the leader of the alternate reality Guardians of the Galaxy, the original team. So I'll get into that in a second. Bug, Jack Flag, Cosmo the Space Dog, Moondragon, and believe it or not, next year, in February of next year, Iron Man will actually be part of that team. Here's the original team, who I'll be talking about in a sec. Major Victory, of course, Charlie 27. Let's see. Yondu, Yondu, Martinex, Martinex, Starhawk, Nikki, Aleta Ogrod, I think that's how you pronounce that. Firelord, Replica, Talon, and a 20th century version of Yellow Jacket. Now, here's the group, the Galactic Guardians, which was kind of an alternate universe version of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which featured Martinex, Firelord, Hollywood, who was actually a future version of Simon Williams, Mainframe, who was Vision at that time, an alternate version of Phoenix, and Spirit of Vengeance, which was a futuristic Ghost Rider, Replica, and that's about it, guys. By the way, if you hear that, that's my stupid dog barking. Now, let's get into the original Guardians team. Now, the original Guardians team debuted in Marvel Superheroes issue 18 in January of 1969. Sorry about that, I had to take a swig of drink there. My mouth was getting a little parched. And they were created by Arnold Drake and Gene Colan. And their base was Freedom's Lady, or the USS Captain America. Now, okay, the Guardians, this version of the Guardians were active in the 31st century in an alternate timeline of the Marvel Universe, Earth 691. The original members of this team included Major Victory, an astronaut from the 20th century Earth who spent 1,000 years traveling to Alpha Centauri in suspended animation. He is also and he is actually a future alternate universe counterpart to Vance Astrovic, yes, the hero known as Justice. Martinex, as I call him, is a crystalline being from Pluto. Captain Charlie 27 is a soldier from Jupiter. Yondu is actually a blue-skinned noble savage from Beta Centauri, and I don't read Roman numerals, but I can presume that that's actually a 6 or 7. But basically, he's kind of like the weapons master of the group, if you will. And each was apparently the last of their kind and were forced to unite as a team against the actions of the alien race called the Badoon, or Badon, however you want to pronounce that, Badoon. And they attempt to conquer Earth's solar system. During the course of their war, they recruit 2 new members, which was Starhawk and Nikki. And they travel back in time and encounter several of Earth's heroes in the 20th century, including Captain America and The Thing. The Guardians eventually would defeat the Badon, but soon found themselves facing a new foe named Korvac, who is in fact a creation of the Badon. After teaming with Thor to defeat Korvac in the 31st century, the Guardians then follow Korvac to the 20th century, where together with the Avengers they fight in a final battle that this arc would later be named the Korvac Saga. They would reappear years later and have a series of adventures in their future, with several others eventually joining the Guardians, such as the Inhuman Talon, Replica, the Skrull, and a second version of Yellow Jacket, which was Rita Demira. Wanting to expand the Guardians to a multiple-team organization, Martinex eventually leaves the team to look for additional members for a second unit, which was nicknamed the Galactic Guardians. Their connection to the modern-day Guardians of the 616 was that during their second mission, the team that was the 616 incarnation discovered a time-displaced Major Victory in a block of ice floating in space. And it is actually his introduction as Major Victory of the Guardians of the Galaxy that inspires the team to take up the name. It's revealed that a great error in the present day has caused the future to be destroyed. Starhawk is constantly trying to prevent it by time travel, causing the future and the Guardians to be altered. Only Starhawk, who is changed with each reboot, knows anything is different, but each change still ends in catastrophe. The Guardians' future was a universe where only a small portion remained undestroyed, which had been taken over by the Badoon. A warning was sent to present day, though at the cost of the universe being ended. And then the major victory of the modern day Guardians, which was one of the alternate futures rather than the original. The second potential major victory appeared in issue 17. And in issue 18, a third version of the Guardians' future was shown, this time led by Killraven against the Martians. Now, let's go to the modern day team, the one that they're actually going to base the movie off of. And this team debuted in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, issue number 1 in May of 2008, and were created by Andy Lanning and Dan Abnett. And their base is, I presume, the colony or ship called Nowhere. You know, the word know, like, you know something, and then where. And let's see. I'm looking at this. Oh, there we go. Now I finally found the team history. I was going through publication history here. Okay. In the aftermath of the Phalanx invasion of the Kree, Star-Lord decides to form a new team of interstellar heroes that will be proactive in protecting the galaxy rather than reacting to crises as they happen. To this end, he recruits Adam Warlock, Drax the Destroyer, Gamora, the galaxy's most dangerous woman. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name, but it's the female Vale, the daughter, if you will, of Captain Marvel, and Genus Vel's sister, who had become the new Quasar, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot. With Mantis as support staff, on the recommendation of their ally Nova, the group establishes a base on the space station Nowhere, which possesses a teleportation system with near-universal range. An intelligent telepathic dog named Cosmo is Nowhere's chief of security and works closely with the new team. After a confrontation with the Universal Church of Truth, the team meets a semi-amnesiac man who identifies himself as Vance Astro, Major Victory of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. His declaration inspires the as-yet unnamed team to adopt the Guardians of the Galaxy name as their own. When the team learns Star-Lord directed Mantis to telepathically coerce the heroes into joining the team, they disband. Rocket Raccoon decides to continue Star-Lord's mission and start a search for the missing members. He asked Bug to join the team as well as Groot's return to full size, in addition of Mantis and Major Victory as not shield agents, but field agents. Sorry. Meanwhile, Star-Lord was banished to the negative zone by Ronan the Accuser for his actions during the Felix's attempted conquest of the Kree Empire. There, he finds himself in the middle of King Blastar's fight to break into 42 and uses its portal to invade Earth. Star-Lord allies with Jack Flag to defend the prison and contact the other Guardians for rescue. Rocket's new team successfully brings both of them back, and Flag becomes a Guardian. Elsewhere, Drax and Quasar begin looking for Cammy, but on their search, they talk to a Sheer who tells them about an upcoming war. Quasar was able to wake Moondragon from the dead, but lost her quantum bands in the process. The consequence for Quasar is that she is now the new avatar of death. They went back to Nowhere and did not follow up on the search for Cammy. And this would eventually lead to the War of Kings storyline, in which Warlock and Gamora return and inform the team of the War of Queens. I'm getting ahead of myself. The War of Kings. There we go. They split into 3 teams. One each to the Kree, and one each to the Kree and Shi'ar, and one staying on Nowhere to coordinate. The Kree team is heard by Black Bolt and the Inhumans, but their request for peace is denied. The Shi'ar team is attacked by Vulcan and the Imperial Guard, leading them to ally with the Starjammers. Star-Lord, Mantis, Bug, Jack Flag, and Cosmo are taken to the 31st century by that era's Guardians, and who warned them of the creation of an all-destroying energy rift called the Fault at the war's conclusion. Trapped in the future, Star-Lord's team is able to get a message to Warlock in the 21st century. Warlock is unable to stop the Fault's creation, but is able to contain it with a spell that requires a stable, unused timeline. He chooses the one he previously erased, causing him to become the Magnus. Star-Lord's team, with the help of Kang the Conqueror, are returned to this point in the time stream to escape. Magnus fakes the death of himself, Mantis, Cosmo, Major Victory, Martyr, which was Quasar, and Gamora. Martyr frees herself with the help of Maelstrom, and enables Mantis to call the other Guardians for help telepathically. When they come to the rescue, Martyr is misled by Maelstrom into freeing Thanos. Thanos kills Martyr, but is captured by the Guardians and taken back to Nowhere as a prisoner. Thus we go to the Thanos Initiative. When the galaxy is invaded by the alternate universe Cancerverse, on the other side of the fault, the Guardians take Thanos to the Cancerverse in an attempt to end the war early. Along the way, Drax attacks Thanos and is killed. And they are ultimately successful in ending the war, but Thanos is left enraged and promising to kill everyone. Along with Nova, Star-Lord remains in the collapsing Cancerverse as the other Guardians escape. After the death of Star-Lord, the Guardians disband. Still believing in their cause, Cosmo recruits another team under the name Annihilators. Rocket Raccoon and Groot later reunite and decide to continue the Guardians' legacy after the duo prevent an incident on Rocket's homeworld, Half-World. The new team appears on Earth to aid the Avengers against Thanos. And I have to admit, I actually am looking forward to seeing the movie and looking at this concept art. It looks like it's going to be amazing. Like, it really does. Like, I'm super excited for the movie to come out, guys. But I've talked about the original team. I've given you a roster rundown. I've given you a roster of course, the 2008 roster and their bit of history. So, the original team had some adventures. They're predominantly known for the Korvac saga. This team, however, the 2008 one, they haven't really had a solo series per se. They've always been kind of a team that's been used in a lot of events, like Annihilation and, Annihilators and like Thanos Imperative and War of Kings and stuff. And it seems like that kind of bothers me because this 2008 lineup, they could have used these characters and really had a lot of fun adventures with them, but I also kind of understand why they didn't really want to do that as well. Because then they'd have to, aside from Thanos and maybe a few cosmic threats here and there, they'd have to reintroduce, Korvac and all that stuff, and it's just, I can see it being a little complex, but nevertheless, though, I still love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm very much excited to see the characters get their own movie. And this is definitely one of the most hyped, if not, the hyped movie that I'm looking forward to out of the entire Phase 2 project for Marvel. But anyway, before I start rambling on and geeking out and boring you guys, I'll just end it with this. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy's lesser known, so those of you who are looking forward to this film 2 years from now, you now got a little bit of a heads up on the team, even the original team, the roster, all that stuff. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully some of you will actually check out some of the books that that both the original and new and 2008 team here were a part of. I know I certainly will be collecting them. So as always, guys, rate, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't need to tell you guys. You guys pretty much know to do all that stuff. And above all else, stay tuned for other lesser knowns, and the lesser knowns. Stay tuned for the lesser knowns coming afterwards, and watch the lesser knowns that came before this video. And yeah, that's it. I got nothing else. I got no other witty comments. Wait, am I still recording? Yeah, I'm still recording. I thought I was done. Okay, I'm gonna hit the stop button. Are you guys ready? Boom.